Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So, this is going to be your weekly read from July 28th all the way into August 3rd. So, happy August! It's here! No pressure. But before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you guys for all your love and support, for your listening, your likes, your shares, subscribes. It's been amazing. And this channel, quite frankly, would not be anything without each and every one of you guys. All of your love and support is what's helped to make it grow. And honestly, I am just tickled every single time. I'm like, okay, pinch me. Don't pinch me seriously, but it's been amazing to see everybody's comments, new subscribers. And so seriously, thank you guys so much for all your love and support. So to get started here, let's start with the Herbal Witches Tarot. So coming into this week, the moon is going to be in Taurus, all about security, stability, home, health, wealth, and finances. And then also too, it's going to be sextile with Saturn, which is currently in Pisces. So it's all about the vision. It's all about the dreamer, your aspirations, where you're wanting to go. And so this sextile coming into this week will really be, put you in a point, I should say rather, where it increases your sense of pursuing your goals with responsibility, with organizational talent, but also care, deliberation, and focus. And so it's a wonderful energy to be coming into this week. Now, right away with the tarot here, we've got the Ten of Swords. So, excuse me. So what I see here is, we can read this a number of different ways. But basically what I see is that things are coming to an ending, or you've endured an ending, and it was extremely painful. There was deception involved. There's backstabbing, gossiping, especially exaggerations and misrepresentations. But it's left you feeling very exhausted. It could also have left you in a place of feeling like you failed. With the Magician directly afterwards, though, it's like 10 is completion, 1 is a brand new beginning. Basically, this is where you are utilizing the skills at your disposal. You're resourceful, you're focused, you're relying on your expertise, but more importantly, you've got direction, and you're using your potential to the best of your knowledge, and you're learning what you don't know, basically. And that's where the moon is really going to be helping you on the 29th, because on the 29th, it's going to be moving over into Gemini. So it's all about learning. It's all about communication. It's all about training, learning what you don't know. Now, I do want to also say it can be extremely helpful in this period, especially with pursuing your goals, identifying what's working, what's not working, what's been prosperous, or what you need to do to reharmonize the stability in your health, financial aspects, home life. But the moon's also going to be conjunct with Uranus at this time, which is also in Taurus. So this can tend to lend itself towards a feeling of a lack of inner balance. And so with this, with the moon as it moves into Gemini, you'll have that aspect of wanting to learn what you don't know, but also a test of that inner balance, a test of that inner strength, of self-belief, of self-love, of really knowing where you're going. So it's going to be a mini teeter, if you will, a minor teeter-totter. Oh my goodness, I can't talk. I do also want to put out there too, with this conjunction, you have the potential to either gain or lose money unexpectedly. So any big financial moves, especially since you've been really focused on your goals, your finances, hold off on the 29th, and we'll go into that astrologically for the rest of this week here too. But basically what this speaks to here with the Two of Staffs is that there may have been a missed opportunity or a fear of change. And it could have been really due to poor planning or missed chances, where basically, it's kind of calling like where you go as the wind blows, but maybe walked into something with painted glasses or rose-colored glasses where you expected things not quite to be what they were. And so there could be something, with this painful ending, with that fear, that fear of failure. Wow. has kind of missed or led to a missed opportunity, or that fear of change has led to a missed opportunity. And really, it boils down to really embracing your true calling. So something held you back from this painful ending. Now with the Knight of Pentacles though, basically this is where you kind of, it's how I put it is, it's the indomitable spirit. You got back up, basically. You took a knee and you got back up. You've been laboring towards your goals. You've been diligent and very hardworking after this loss. And more importantly, you've been persevering towards your long-term goals. It's not just about the day-to-day. It's about really, truly where you're headed. And so on the 30th, the sun is going to be helping you with the sextile with the moon. Basically, the sun's going to be in Leo, so it's going to give you a lot of passion. It's Leo as a sun sign is all about confidence, that you're the star of your own show, basically, and taking the reins within your own life and within your own movement. And with the sextile with the moon, which is currently in Gemini, it's really a balance of that head and the heart. It's a focus on relationships, but also a rational focus on relationships in the way where you're not letting people take advantage of you, or you're seeing things for what they really truly are. And like I say, like especially after this painful ending, or looking at what's held you back, you're seeing exactly where change is needed or where healing is needed. And judgment is absolutely in your favor. This is basically a time for the truth to come forward. And so standing in your truth, and that could have been what's holding you back here too, is that you've been silenced, or this fear basically made you suppress a few things. But what Spirit's reminding you with the Judgment card basically is that there is a resolution, there's karma on your side, and more importantly, now is the time to unblock that throat chakra. Now is the time to stand in your truth. And remember, you are the Knight of Pentacles right now. You've been laboring, you've been learning, and you're persevering towards your long-term goals, and the world is in your favor. The universe is in your favor. Your hard work is absolutely paying off, and you're moving towards completion and moving forward from this pain. So there's something that basically might need to be focused on with letting go this week. Now, I do also want to say too that on the 30th, the moon is which is in Gemini, is also going to be conjunct with Jupiter, which is also in Gemini. So this is a lot of air sign. It's a lot of movement. A lot of going with the flow, and so it's a very lucky time. Basically, it's a time where you could actually see significant financial gains, or really take on healthy lifestyle instincts and wealthy feelings. So really, changing that mindset and working on negative mindsets and staying positive and knowing that what you think about, you bring about. And really focusing on where you want to go, those long-term goals, those artistic inclinations, and more importantly, standing true and in your truth of ambition of where you want to go. And on the 31st, the moon is also going to be moving into Cancer. So this is going to be a revitalization time, almost like a rebirth time. You'll be longing for home. And this is what I get is it's a home that really is only found within that inner place of peace. And really from that inner place of peace, what I'm trying to say is that place that puts you at a peace where you can dream your best dreams into reality, where you can look at truly this is where I want to go, and have that focus, have that goal in sight and in your mind, and a positive outlook as to how to get there, as opposed to a focus on what hasn't worked in the past. Oh, thank you, Spirit. So with the Tree of Life too, the Nyamadula, as I love to call it, and use the African name instead. But this is overcoming stress and anxiety. This is about basically having that fortitude, having that strength, taking that time to heal, and really taking that time to reinvigorate your strength through relaxation, through healing. And like I say, I mean, with the moon moving to Cancer, it's all about relationships. It's all about feelings and that compassion for yourself. And so it's important to take that time. And it's also important to let your subconscious, one, come to terms with the past, but most importantly, work through that problem solving. It's always good to, blend as within, so below, kind of, or as above, so below. And so letting your subconscious work through those practical, pragmatic aspects. letting your subconscious really take that ambition, those inspirations, and help you with bringing those into reality. It's amazing what the mind can do when you take that meditative time. So towards the middle of the week, definitely utilize that rejuvenation, that spirit from the Cancer moon, because it will absolutely help with revitalizing you and your efforts. Now, I do see here in the middle of the week too, some of us may be faced with hard choices or choosing to be blind to the truth. What I see in this is that the past option or a certain circumstance that you're dealing with is kind of, whether you wanted to or not or intended to, you're kind of caught in the middle and you're torn between choices at this time. And so this is a point here where really, like I say, you're really focused on basically letting the mind, subconscious and conscious, flow together so that the past isn't obscuring your vision or motivating or influencing your choices. Now, with the Page of Pentacles here, I also see as well that there is an arrival of bad news or unexpected change. So like I say, especially with Uranus being conjunct with the moon. I hate saying Uranus that way. Sometimes I do. I'm sorry. But either way, what I see in that is the potential of, with that potential of gaining or losing money this week. Now is the time where you may see some aspects of unexpected change, of some material loss, some adjustments. What's really wonderful though is on August 1st, happy August, at 4:44, depending upon what time zone you're in, I can talk. The moon is actually going to be sextile with Mercury, and Mercury at this time is in Virgo. And so this is about communication. This is about family, spending time with loved ones, and also to focusing on the company that you keep. And so, like I say, this is the time where you'll get a little help from those around you. You're manifesting as well some rational thinking, some structured and logical aspects, as well as really focusing on your self-discipline and looking at the situation objectively, especially between these choices. But most important, what Spirit is saying here is possess that inner strength to succeed. That self-empowerment is what's going to really drive you forward, but also too that willpower, that confidence, choosing to walk in love. And what I really see in that and read in that is that, you've got two choices. You can either live in fear or live in love, or live in light and faith. And you're choosing love at this point. And especially you'll get a lot of help from that sextile of reminding you of the company that you keep and the gifts that you truly have. Now, like I say, with that monetary bad loss, I do feel like it's a temporary setback, or it's basically a minor setback. But what it really most is a wake-up call. And where I see that coming is really because on August 2nd, the moon is going to be trine with Saturn. And Saturn's currently in Pisces. And so Saturn, again, it's kind of this very volatile planet. And when you couple it with the Pisces, it's very much... It's very much the dreamer, it puts your focus back on where you want to go as opposed to what you've endured negatively. And so again, it's about that mental mindset. But basically during that time, you'll gain a lot of mental strength. You'll be able to make good financial decisions. And so if you have endured losses from the past, or with this minor setback of material things, I do see that basically it'll kind of be, like I say, a wake-up call. It'll force you to really look at some things, and like I say, you'll get some help with this trine with Saturn, where you'll have the mental strength to really evaluate, replenish, and find alternative ways to basically, or new paths to make money, or to basically solve any type of financial constraints. And then, as wonderful as it is too, I will also say with this, like basically, it's going to be through your creativity. And the reasoning why I say that is the moon is also going to be moving to Leo on the 3rd, which is really all about that confidence, that self-expression. Again, with that sun sign, it's all there with the moon as well. However, it's more about the inner self. And so if this, where you're torn between two choices, is going to, kind of holding you back due to past fears, or basically a choice of fear versus faith, have strength. You absolutely are standing in the Knight of Cups, which is basically, it's going to spark your creativity. It's going to spark some motivation. So like I say, it's about a wake-up call. And it will help you with drive. Now, side thing too, there could also be some romance aspects here, but either way, what I see is that basically you've had some difficulty with letting go. But you've been saving, especially with financial aspects. You've been really looking at your finances, looking at, what's going in versus what's coming in versus what's going out. And you're making those adjustments and you're spending wisely. And absolutely, you've got new ventures coming. So expect travel, and more importantly, what I see in this is that you're choosing faith over fear. You are standing in a point where you're ready to take action. It's kind of, like I say, it's that wake-up call where you're like, okay, I've got to do something, but more importantly, you've got that mental capacity, that you're changing that mental mindset from a negative to a positive, and there's excitement for you. You're taking action. It's not necessarily bad news. It's just basically a wake-up call in the way of, hey, let's figure this out. Things can't keep going the way that they are. Now, also too, with the Queen of Pentacles, basically Spirit is saying as well, you are still standing in a place of success and wealth. And so absolutely now is the time to trust. And again, that's where you're choosing faith. You really are at this point very sensible. So I don't see you making any huge negative, bad financial decisions. Instead, what I see is, again, this is a wake-up call where it's like, hey, minor setback. However, let's figure this out and let's set ourselves up for success going forward. And you're really looking at what is working, what's not working. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Vitakara. I cannot talk today. Wow. The Vitakara Tarot. Wow. Okay. Say that 10 times fast. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. And also, too, I apologize. I really thought Champ and Charlie would help out today, but they are taking the day off. So, no judgment. It's a nice, cloudy, cool, rainy day here where we're at. So, the boys are taking advantage of nap time. But let's see here. So what energies do we've got? Or do we have? Okay, so with the Six of Pentacles, basically now is the time where you're sharing with others. Others are sharing with you, also with knowledge. But this is also about financial management. And so again, I think this is the week where you're really looking at those financial aspects, especially coming out of that Tauran half moon that kind of occurred here on the 27th this weekend. And you're looking at those financial pieces. But also too, like I say, for the minor setback of negative or minor setback of financial loss, what I also see is astrologically as well as energetically, through your self-control, through your enterprising, through your practical plans here. This is financial, 2 cards, financial management. You are basically having a wake-up call here this week, where really you are achieving a fusion to harmony, and really truly you're solving this through your creativity, through your art, and there will absolutely be opportunities for significant financial gains here. So like I say, this is going to be an interesting week. If it resonates with you, by all means, and you feel comfortable, please share your story in the comments below. Like that way, if you're being tested, where it's like, oh, my Lanta, I need some help here, I need some support, know that this channel is for you. So, put a heart in the comments, share your story in the comments below. That way we can help lift you up, help support you through this time. You have this, you got this, and we believe in you here. So with the Queen of Pentacles as well, and again, it's about pragmatic resourcefulness and about being a go-getter. So if anything, this week is the week where you will absolutely have a little bit of a fire built under, kind of lit, where you'll start to take action, especially when it comes to business or financial aspects. So your financial stability is how I should put it. What I also note here too is with the King and the Queen of Pentacles, you're not only doing this for you, but the way that you're paving your path There's a lot of generosity. There's a lot of humanitarianism here. And so what I see in this is that, and provider. And so you're not only just doing this for you, you're also paving a way for others. You're supporting others as well. And with the sun at the bottom of the deck here, I mean, there's enthusiasm, there's prosperity, and more importantly, there's compassion, compassionate confidence and contentment. But I mean, this is just beautiful because it really speaks to wealth. So whatever hiccup you've got going on, like I say, and again, the Knight of Pentacles, I mean, this is just crazy. But really at this point, through your rationality, through your financial management, you are basically problem solving through this. But it's going to be through your generosity, through your commitment towards community, and then also too through your resourcefulness and your conservative money management. This is beautiful too. You're standing in the Empress power. This is success. This is material wealth, but also too, this is fertility. So, use the laws of nature to manifest at this time. Don't overburden yourself here as well with the Ten of Wands. Don't necessarily. What I see in that is that this financial constraint has really put some pressure on you, basically. Spirit is saying here that now is the time to really learn to go with the flow, to let go of that control, but also to change the things that you can, to work through the things that you can, to educate yourself in the things that you don't know, so that you can make the right changes and the best decisions, because knowledge really is power, right? But what this really represents is that if there were any financial aspects or poverty or instabilities that you've been enduring, that's coming to an end. Really, truly, as well as with the Ten of Swords in reverse, this was a narrow escape, but more importantly, this was a recovery. And you're moving on from this. You're growing from the pain, and you've regenerated, and you will regenerate a new beginning in your time here. Now, with the Magician in reverse, this is basically breaking taboo. So, this is also a point of where you're kind of feeling a lack of self-discipline or enthusiasm, or feeling kind of like that you're being tricked, basically. And so I would watch out for that. And again, astrologically, we do have that aspect with the conjunction between the moon when it's in Gemini in the beginning of the week with Uranus, where that inner balance will kind of be tested here at this point. But really look at things, and again, we've kind of covered that in the last reading. Look at things for what they are. See the intents of people, and just know that, not every, light doesn't necessarily only attract light. It attracts dark too. And so there may be some with ulterior motives around, but this is a challenge you can handle. With the Emperor in reverse, this is where you're challenging authority. It can lead to a lack of discretion. So just remember your diplomacy, and remember that, what your words and your actions do impact others. So there's a mindfulness in that. But really, this is about unjust prejudices being held against you, basically. And with the Seven of Cups, it's due to, there's been some temptations. There's been some tests, basically. And so, Spirit, what's your best guidance here for us during this time, especially with looking at the injustices? Thank you. I kind of popped and stuck. So with the Page of Cups, basically, this is where it's, and again, it speaks to I say it nicely with the rose-colored glasses aspects, but it's about the naivety. You're in a situation that is new territory, basically. You could also have had some unrealistic expectations, or a lack of creativity, or it led to a lack of creativity, or this bad news really kind of put some chakra blockages towards you, on you. With the Death and, at the end of I can't talk today, I swear. But with the Death card at the bottom of the deck, basically this is an ending. This is an end of a phase, and it's the start of a new phase. It's a transformation, and it's a liberation, most importantly. It's your rebirth. And so expect during this time that, like I say, there's all this calling towards what truly is your place of peace, what truly is your home, what speaks to you as a place of peace, so that you can build your best dreams into reality. basically what Spirit is saying here is, remember, you are absolutely in a favorable position. Now is the time to stand your ground. Now is not the time to, to let prejudices hold you back, or unjust aspects. Now is not the time to, I'm just going to flip it, because so much negativity in that. But basically the way that I would look at this is that, through your tenacity, through your bravery, now is the time to stand up against any type of aspects that that have been holding you back. Now is not necessarily the time to go to extremes. However, it is the time to defend yourself, and remember that you absolutely are in a favorable position. There is nothing that anyone can take from you that is meant for you. And it seems like in this reading here, and at least in the second piece here, that there may be people that might try. There may be people coming in with ulterior motives. With the Seven of Pentacles as well, this was really a neglect of a financial situation. So even reading it a different way, you could have been turning a blind eye towards finances in a lot of ways, or basically kind of denying some aspects here, or focusing on, just fact, and not looking at your investments appropriately. And this is an overinvestment in behavior, basically. You're beginning to awaken from that. You're releasing from those constraints, and most importantly, you're breaking free from that type of bondage. And so this really speaks to whatever was holding you back, especially financially, and especially if you did have something unbeknownst to you holding you back, some deceptive, I'll just call them business partners, but affiliates, working in the wing unbeknownst to you or behind the scenes. Basically, you are being liberated from freedom, and justice is on your side. This is basically where you're standing in your truth and your integrity, but most importantly, it's about good karma and a balance of harmony. That legal aspects, truth is on your side, and the scales are balancing out. And so what I see in that in a lot of ways is that those who have tried to possibly hold you back, or any type of fear or wounding that has held you back in the past, you're breaking free from that, but also, too, you've mastered any type of indiscretions or pain, wounds. You've healed those internally. And most importantly, like I say, this is an awakening for you. You're kind of looking at things now and really saying, hey, things need to change. And you're standing up against those injustices. And so whatever was done behind the scenes, not only has it made you stronger, but the universe is actually working in your favor to balance those scales as well. And so, what I see in that, just kind of going through these cards, is that you may have some onlookers basically watching for your downfall, trying to plan something, or I don't even know how to put it, but there just may be some negative attention you're getting. Let's call it that. Whatever they end up trying to do to you is actually coming back to them, and more importantly, you're transmuting that energy to also benefit you. So the universe is has got your back in this in a very, very wonderful way, where whatever is done against you is actually causing you to, is actually being used with your spirit guides to help benefit you. Now, we have a lot of major arcana here. This is a lot of changes. So I'm just kind of looking at this. So, just looking at the synopsis, and this is kind of in reverse, so I'm going to read it the other way. But, this is really looking at where here you are, you've been focusing on healing and finding your strength, and you're standing in that Empress power, taking your power back. You're ready to manifest as well. And there's been an authoritative aspect here, that basically there's been a leadership aspect. You're learning self-discipline through the injustices, and whatever was happening is now coming to an end. That's the end of that negative aspect is now being transformed into a rebirth and a liberation, and justice is on your side. So beautiful, just saying. If this resonates, like I say, please, if you feel comfortable, share your story in the comments below, or just put a heart. But either way, this is a beautiful story of rebirth and, most importantly, of empowerment. But I did also pull the Major Arcana here to look at the music therapy piece here. So for any type of chakra blockages here, I do certainly see quite a bit on the crown, some even root chakra. I mean, there's just, and the heart chakra, throat chakra. So, some of you could have also been silenced through this as well. So if you are in need of any type of chakra realignment, to get that energy flowing, unblock any of that past, and with learning to let that go and releasing it, sound baths, salt baths are extremely helpful in healing in that process. And so if you've practiced music therapy, try fiddling around with some improv with F sharp, the key a G, C. We're also pulling an E, 2 Gs, and also a D. So try playing around with those. See what it does with work, realigning your chakras, opening things up again, opening that energy movement up. But also too, for those that don't necessarily practice music, try meditating, take those salt baths. Also too, do some sound bath meditation, even through others' music or through your favorite music and what speaks to you at that time. To go ahead and release that energy, release that negative aspect, most importantly, release the focus on the negativity so that you can really move forward and stand in your power. And like I say, if that resonates, by all means, please like, share, subscribe. Help get this message out to as many Virgos as we can, because like I say, this is kind of that was an intense reading. And so I definitely can feel, some of that negative energy is very much past. Let that go. But like I say, like, share, subscribe. That way we can help lift as many Virgos up as we can, because I'm kind of feeling that stuck energy from this. Now, I also wanted to pull some spirit totems here, see what our ancestors can help guide us with. And we pulled the butterfly, the polar bear, and also the raccoon. And this is gorgeous. That's all I got to say. So with the butterfly, it speaks to rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. And so like I say, it's taking yourself out of that negative mindset and most importantly, shining in your best, highest self. And with the polar bear, it's about being mystic. A lot of us are intuitive, and I feel like we've got a lot of very beautiful and powerful shamans in our community here. But what this speaks to is that know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. And so remember to listen to your gut. Listen to, you know best, and Spirit has is with you every step of the way. Spirit has your back. And with the raccoon, that's the inventor. This is the part of you that no one can replace. This is what makes you uniquely you, and also drives you towards your success. And so decide what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it. Avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You have many roles and can juggle them well. And again, we've got the butterfly here. This is your rebirth. What I see in this is that you are rising to the challenge. You are learning what you don't know. You're standing in that power of knowledge. You're really finding that place of peace this week in your homeland. You're taking, in that inner home as well. And with community, with the company that you keep. And through this week, you're finding, especially as financial aspects are concerned, pursuing your goals as well. You're doing it with a head in the heart, with the potential that you hold within, with the gifts that you have, and then the mental strength and fortitude, as well as the confidence in your self-expression to succeed and make this a success. So this is where I really see that you are choosing faith over fear, and you're not letting fear hold you back in this week at all. So if that resonates, like I say, please like, share, subscribe. Either way, though, thank you guys so much for listening. I truly hope that this message helps and that it resonates with you so that you can take it into this week and rise to the highest self and to your best gifts that you are in all your strength and in all your beauty. And so take care, love and light, and I'll see you in the next reading. Happy August!